All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Akakwadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. This is going to be a quick lesson on this video here, right? Which I think I saw it on World Star earlier today, but this is the second time I've seen it now, and Apostle Tahar's posted it up as well. So I just want to make a quick point on this video and go into how wicked and evil this society is, because this woman was complaining that this man brought his child food and didn't bring food for her other children. And then based on what she's talking and saying, it sounds like he was the last person to have children with her, right? So that right there is adultery. But then with how this society is so wicked, a man can't really even get with a woman without committing adultery. He'll end up committing adultery in a slightly different way, right? But he's still worthy of death, according to what Yahweh said, right? And by what I mean by how he'll end up committing adultery in a different way will be that he'll end up getting with a woman that's not still with the guy. But the way it's supposed to work according to the Bible is that a woman can only get with another man if the previous man is dead, right? Now, so that's one point. That's adultery, right? From both his side and her side, because she's not supposed to have children with another person. And if that child's on the way, not if that father's not dead, but then she actually ended up throwing the food away that he ended up getting for his child, man. So then basically what she's saying is that in order for him to be able to take care of his child properly, that he has to be able to be prepared to buy all of her children something. So if he brings his child some clothes, then would she expect him to bring all of them children clothes? And this is just further proof that a woman's supposed to stay with one man, and she's supposed to stay with the man that she had her children with, man. The first man that a woman sleeps with, she's supposed to stay with that guy. But how this society works, that never happens, man. Right? And it's a very annoying thing to see this. And also, I want to just make another point quickly, that how this society works and how these women are wicked and evil, right? She said she had 4 children. So how this society works, a child can be raised up in a house with so-called siblings that are of 3 different nations. So in this particular situation, one of them children might be an Israelite, this particular man's child, because he's an Israelite, because he's under them curses with a wicked woman like that. But the other children, one of them could be an Edomite, right? The other child could be a Moabite, right? And then the other child could be an Ishmaelite. So that's basically Psalms 83 inside the house, because one child is of the lineage of the chosen, but then all the other children would be of those same nations that are mentioned in Psalms 83rd chapter. So they'll be bullying him. They'll be trying to go against him, because they're all raised because he's a different nation to them, man. So he'll have more flavor than them. He'll be the chosen. They won't even know why they don't like him, but they'll all be bullying him, and they might look similar because they got one of the same parents, man. And this is a further thing into why a lot of these women are going to be destroyed, man. But this is a very evil video, man. And certain brothers might have even grown up in a house where their mom had a child by more than one guy, man. So then they grow up when they're older thinking that these people are their family. And then when they come into the knowledge of the Lord, then they realize actually now they're not my family. And they realize that those other so-called siblings were different to them, man. And they probably weren't Israelites, even though they looked like Israelites. But they might have been tares, man. There might have been Ishmaelites, there might have been Hamites, there might have been Moabites, there might have been whatever nation. And there's a friction in there. And it just goes into how that Isaiah 3, the 3rd chapter and the 16th verse, down to the 4th verse, is going to come to pass, man. And this is annoying, man. It's got a lot of brothers annoyed. Let me read some of the comments that brothers put in there. In fact, someone said, "I can't wait until the Most High starts to deal with these wicked women on a very high level. It's going to be great." And that's obviously something that loads of people are saying, because 25 other people agreed with that, right? Here's another one. Wisdom of Solomon 4 and 6. For the children begotten of unlawful beds are witnesses of wickedness against their parents in their trial. Exactly. So that woman having all of those children is witness of her adultery. Let me go some more. I'd rather, Sirach chapter 25 and verse 16, I'd rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep house with a wicked woman. And this man clearly wasn't wanting to stay in the house with her because he got the hell out of there, man. He wanted to just give the food and bounce. He didn't want to have to talk to her because most of these women are demons, as we all know. So there's not worth talking to them. It's not worth sitting around with them and being around with them. They're attention seeking. They're demons. They're evil from like 15 years old on up, man. That demon jumps on them real quick because their evil mom purges and puts the demons onto their mind, and they become evil from young. Let me carry on. Proverbs chapter 9 and verse 13, a foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple, she knoweth nothing. And that woman was running her mouth, and she just wanted to argue. And when you actually watch the video, you actually find out the real reason why she's angry. She's angry because she's embarrassed that her whoredom is being put on Front Street, and she was angry that the father, that people always say that that man's a good father, right? They was angry about that. She was angry that he gets considered as a good father when what he did in that particular video, him bringing his child some food, ain't nothing wrong with that. But then she wouldn't want to give him the child though and make the child live with him instead of her, because then she wouldn't be able to probably claim whatever money she's claiming from the man. Let me see if there's any other scriptures that brothers put up on here. Yeah, let me read this one. This is an infuriating video for obvious reasons. Please, Yahweh, come soon and get us out of this place. Hebrews 13 and 14. Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 14. For here we have no continuing city, but we seek one to come. And that's right, man. Because in this society right here, we're catching hell all the time, and we ain't got no peace down here, man. It's just a continual set of aggravating situations that you don't have no power, man. We can't do nothing about. We can't help this, man. Right? We ain't in our power. If we was in our power, this situation wouldn't have happened, and he would have known not to get himself in that situation. When he would have first saw that woman had 3 children already, he would have been like, I'm not having a child with you. And more than likely, right, he probably didn't even want to have a child with her in the first place. Because it seems to me that clearly she's not in control of being able to have children with men that want to be with her. So clearly, he probably didn't want to have a child with her anyway in the first place. But she said, oh, you knew what you was getting into, blah, 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 and all of this. But it seems to me like she uses children as a weapon. I think somebody already put that Proverbs 9 and 13 there. Let me see if there's any more. I'll read that comment. It says someone's wrote the nerves of these women. You know what? Let me see what else people have said. I didn't plan on saying anything, but let me see what else people have said, man. Because this is the second time, well, really the third time. I wasn't going to watch this because I already knew what the video was anyway. And I knew that it was exactly the same length. But I wanted to see what all of the other Israelite brothers said about this, man. Because these kind of things, like, these women are demons, man. And then people wonder why we always say that the women are wicked. And people wonder why there's so many videos out there, in particular from brothers from Great Millstone, or brothers that follow Great Millstone and believe in the Great Millstone doctrine. People wonder why there's so many videos that they make about them. In fact, one of the videos that made the apostles become big on YouTube, make them people know that they was teaching, was that video that they did bunning out that Rasta demon, man. Which that was a video that I ended up seeing after that, like several years after that video was out there, and that's still on the internet now. It says the nerves of these wicked women, shaking my damn head. Let me see if there's any more scriptures. Well, that's a good point. Someone said, why ain't she in the kitchen cooking? And that's a good point. I guarantee if you was to probably look at her fingernails, you probably see that she's got those talon fingernails, right? I guarantee she's more than likely got a weave on her head. So she could have not bought a weave and bought some food to cook. She could have did that. Sounds like my niece, you see. Sounds like someone actually knows somebody like this, man. And over here in Birmingham, man, or over here in the West Midlands, I ain't even gonna say I ain't in Birmingham. Over here in the West Midlands, and over here in the UK in general, there's several other women like that. So that's not a UK. I mean, that's not a situation that's only for Babylon the Great. That's a worldwide situation, man. Or maybe I ain't gonna say worldwide because I ain't been worldwide, but it's definitely over here in the UK where these so-called black women are like that too. Definitely bunning out their father, bunning out the father of their children. Let me read this comment. She probably was angry because she wanted to eat some of their food too, and I wouldn't be surprised, man. I wouldn't be surprised. Someone wrote she exposed herself, and that's true as well. She exposed. Someone else wrote she exposed herself. Someone else wrote bugged the hell out, which is true because the whole situation's off, man. Because here it is, he could have, even him from his side, he could have got with a woman that hasn't got no children by another guy, and then he would have been able to avoid that situation, man. Someone wrote madness. Why don't you ask the father's kids? But it's just wicked, man. Like every single time in this society, we continually see situations where we know the way how it's supposed to be judged, but we can't do nothing, man. And in this situation, right, there's supposed to be some people going back up to the spirit world, man. Right, because adultery was involved in that particular situation. Let me you see? So someone spotted it. So maybe I was right about the nails. Someone wrote, "How's her nails did, but her children not fed?" So obviously somebody more than likely when they saw this video saw that she has got her nails done, man. Let me see what else this person said. She should be, she should be the one for feed her children, not him. He shouldn't have to feed all her. He shouldn't have to feed all her kids. I swear I really dislike when women act like this. Then she also out in public screaming to this world. Exactly. So for all he knows, yeah, or for all we know, so like for all we know, that's the first time her even voicing that frustration to him. But because people like likes and they like to embarrass people and like to make everything public, she tried to embarrass him now to where now he might just say, you know what, I'm not gonna bring nothing for the child then. Because I'm not bringing everything, I'm not bringing things for his child because I ain't got money for that. Because if I start bringing money for other people's children, that's going into my food budget for him, his own self. So he might just say, now, you know what, I'm not going to bring nothing for none of them. Because how are you going to feel if you're a child in the house hungry, yeah? And you saw that your dad's brought you food and your mum's just threw it into the street? You know how wicked that is? And she'll probably wish that she had that access to that food in a time to come. How I might be setting a woman like that up for famine, man? Because that's a very disrespectful thing to do, to throw away food, man. I'm not gonna talk too much more, man, because I'm remembering that something, another video that I watched today, anyway, man. So yeah, I'm gonna say shalom and that shalom.